Eyewitness News reporter Christine Dobbin is here now with more. Christine?
Well, Gina and Eric, as you both know, in the career of a journalist, it is very rare to get the chance to interview one of your own co-workers. I sat down with Melanie Lawson, a woman I admire for the career she has, the person she is, and more than anything, the way she approaches life with MS.
Live at 5.
On a September evening more than 20 years ago,
I've been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
it was the anchor telling viewers a news story about herself.
I always remember waking up one morning and kind of stumbling down the hallway. I couldn't seem to get my balance.
Eyewitness News anchor Melanie Lawson went through months of testing before a diagnosis. Multiple sclerosis.
Were you frightened, scared? What kind of feelings were you going through at that point?
Oh, of course I was scared to death, because when I heard MS, I automatically assumed I was going to be in a wheelchair.
But Melanie moved forward with grace and determination, continuing the job she loves. Since her diagnosis, she says she's been fortunate not to have many episodes. Her biggest challenge is a symptom called foot drop, which makes lifting the front part of her foot difficult.
Perhaps the thing that I miss the most is being able to walk long distances.
When did you have to start using a cane?
The cane was there as much to keep me from falling down sometimes as anything else, so it's a good stabilizer for me.
MS affects everyone differently, physically and emotionally.
You're a woman of faith.
Yes.
How has your faith come into play in dealing with MS?
You go through a terrible depression. You feel as though sometimes, why me? And I just found that for me it really helped to be able to pray for guidance, to pray for direction, to realize that I was still tremendously blessed.
And attitude has been everything.
Anything that you can't do anymore that you could do 20 years ago?
Well, I always laughingly tell people I can't run a marathon and I can't dance the Nutcracker, but I couldn't do that before either, or at least I didn't.
And she smiles as she talks about that first cane she bought.
When I finally got one, it had to be an attractive one. So all of my canes have flowers and all that sort of thing.
You had to incorporate the fashion.
Exactly. You have to look good. If you're going to carry a cane, a girl should at least look good with it.
Over the span of 2 decades, she has also seen firsthand advances in treatments and the work of the MS Society. The prognosis for those living with MS keeps getting better.
Really sort of open up what was once a very mysterious and misunderstood disease to the public so people understand a lot more about MS.
The BP MS 150 has been a big part of that.
When you see those riders fundraising and riding all the way to Austin, what does it mean to you?
There is never a time when it doesn't bring me to tears.
While she would love to make that ride, she pledges to support many riders instead. With every mile pedaled, every dollar raised towards a cure, Melanie is optimistic it will include restoring lost functions to those living with MS and reopen the road to some of the simple things in life.
There are some other things that I'd like to be able to do, and maybe a long walk on the beach is right up there at the top of the list.
And Melanie is on the board of the MS Society. She's also been involved in many events raising awareness of MS. Now, she will be part of our live coverage all weekend long for the BP MS 150. Be sure to tune in this Sunday afternoon at 12:30 for our Finish Line special from Austin and catch all the weekend's highlights in our BP MS 150 End of the Ride. That special will be hosted by Melanie Lawson and David Nuno Sunday night at 11 right here on ABC 13. And I will be riding with Melanie's name on my back. Christine Dobbin, 13 Eyewitness News.